You're my pink brony bros, and you dance at the gay clubs. Oh my God, we're just having fun on the stage in our hooves while wearing our man thongs. So what's going on, my pink brony bros? Welcome to the show. Please come inside. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, do you want it? Yeah. Do you need it? Yeah. Do you want it? Ladies and gentlemen. What up, my pink brony bros? And we dance at the gay club. Oh my God, I'm just having fun on the stage in my hooves. I'm wearing my man thong. Down at the Pink Brony Club, I'm gonna keep on fapping at the Pink Brony Club. I'm gonna keep on crapping down in West Hollywood. What's up, Annie? Good morning. How you doing? We got Annie in the house. We're gonna have Frog Eat Frog, I'm assuming, here pretty soon. We love our Frog Eat Frog on this channel. We love our Annie. Annie's awesome. We got E.T. E.T. Oh, dude, E.T. gets me going, bro. Another day, another Garza. E.T.'s like a super fanboy, dude. E.T. loves this show. Frog ain't making it? What? Frog don't love me anymore. Amazing. Amazing. All right, give me 1 second here. He's into what he's got. Tiny Lion Gaming says sound off. Hell yeah. Oh, what? Sound is off. Brony Bros assemble. Oh, okay. You're saying sound off. Okay. I got you now. We're going to react to a little DT. Donald John Mother effing Trump, bro. Make sure that you guys double tap your screen to like the stream. Wow. You're scaring me, E.T. I do misunderstand. I always misunderstand.
Breaking news for you right now. President Trump saying he is heading into the Situation Room for...
Dude, I'm loving the UFC. I'm loving the UFC on the front lawn, dude. That's so sexy.
A meeting on this potential Iran deal. I'm going to read the post to you here, so bear with me. He says, Iran must agree that they will never have a nuclear weapon or bomb.
Yeah.
The Hormuz Strait must be immediately open. No tolls for unrestricted shipping traffic in both directions. All water mines, bombs, if any, will be terminated. We have removed, through detonation, numerous such mines with our great underwater mine sweepers. Iran will complete the immediate removal and or detonation of any mines that are left, which will not be many. Ships caught in the strait due to our...
Tiny Lion Gaming says Donald John Trump versus the Rocket. That would be a fun match, man. That would be a pretty sexy match, if you ask me. I like it.
Our amazing and unprecedented naval blockade, which will now be lifted, may start the process of heading home. Say hello to your wives, husbands, parents, and families from me, your favorite president. The enriched material, sometimes referred to as nuclear dust, which is buried deep underground with virtually collapsed mountains caused by our powerful B-2 bomber attack 11 months ago, sitting on top of it, will be unearthed by the United States, which, it is agreed, is the only country, along with China, with the mechanical capability of doing so. in close coordination and conjunction with the Islamic Republic of Iran, plus the International Atomic Energy Agency, and destroyed.
Heck yeah.
No money will be exchanged until further notice. Other items of far less importance have been agreed to. I will be meeting now in the Situation Room to make a final determination. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Interesting, because it's rare, Martha, that
we actually might be close to a deal. A deal may be struck. We may be close to a deal, everybody. Folks, we are close to a deal. Like, I think we're close, dude.
President would announce going into the Situation Room to just have a discussion, but this president is keeping everybody up to speed at all times on all things. And so going into the Situation Room to, I guess, assess whether Iran is serious about any of these things. Iran, of course, said that it has red lines as well, and one of them was on the nuclear material issue.
So it is interesting. He's sending a number of signals here about where they are, or where he is really in all of this. And the things that he lays out, they can never have a nuclear weapon or bomb. So that line in and of itself, I think Iran will say, well, we never wanted one. We are obviously enriching to the levels that the only thing.
Yeah, no, Iran is lying through their teeth if they say they don't want a nuclear weapon. If you're enriching uranium to weapons grade levels, I'm sorry. You're trying to construct a bomb. It's pretty freaking obvious, dude. It's very freaking obvious.
Thing you can do with that kind of enrichment is to build a bomb, but they may say, yes, we'll agree to that because we never wanted one, even though we see that all their activities and behavior is completely to the contrary. Yeah. The Hormuz Strait.
Screw Iran, dude. Iran's so stupid. If you guys can, double tap your screen to like the stream one more time. If you guys can, double tap your screen to like the stream. It really does help the channel out in more ways than one. But yes, double tap your screen to like the stream. Let's go, dude.
Must be immediately open. No tolls for unrestricted shipping traffic in both directions. We know that Iran in these negotiations has been pushing to basically be the person the entity that organizes the traffic. And as Jack Keane, the General Jack Keane has said.
Jack Keane, dude, I love Jack Keane. General Jack Keane is the man, dude.
That is control. If you're in charge of organizing who goes through and who comes out, that is control.
Yeah,
and
the
president is saying that he will not agree to that. It doesn't sound like.
Yeah, Iran should have no jurisdiction over the Strait of Hormuz. None. They're not allowed to. And if they try, they deserve to be punished.
They're any closer to any agreement. And as you point out, Dana, he's in the Situation Room.
Yeah, I mean, this is a decision you could make in the Oval Office.
Like I said, don't forget to double tap your screen. If you guys think that Donald Trump is the man, double tap your screen to like the stream. If you think that Donald John Trump is the best president of all time, yo, woo! Double tap your screen, bro. Yeah.
It is.
Hey, as long as Iran has no nuclear weapon, and look, we've already, by the way, it may have cost us money to do this, but we've weakened Iran so much that Iran's is not going to be a threat for a very long time to anybody. That's the best part about this. Iran won't be a threat to anybody. We should be jumping for joy that Iran's not going to be able to threaten anybody because they're not going to have the military to do it.
To make it anywhere. But he also said something in his Truth Social post that we haven't heard him talk a lot about, but there's a big piece in the New York Times today and on the Daily about the innocent people who are workers who have been trapped on these cargo ships, and they haven't been able to go home to their families for months. And they are the breadwinners for their families, and that's why when President Trump says you will now be able to head home, kiss your wives, your son, your children, and you'll be able to at least get home. Can you imagine being stuck there? They're running out of food and medicine, and President Trump talked about that also being a humanitarian situation that the United States would try to solve.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be interesting if this goes through and we lift our blockade and everyone can leave this area. How do you determine whether or not oil tankers from Iran are also getting out in that?
My dad is sending me some random shit. What's he sending me? are amazing.
In that opening of the
And if the-
blockade, we're going to learn more today.
And if
obviously.
the insurers will say, okay,
Yes.
we feel comfortable that you can move the ship, because the other thing President Trump emphasizes in there is the mines that are there, the bombs that need to be detonated. We've done some, but he's saying, Iran, you have a role to play here as well.
Yeah.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
It will be interesting, man. It will be interesting. I think Iran's cooked. If we're going to be all truthful with each other, Iran is really, really cooked. Like, they don't have a lot of... their chances are slim that anything positive is going to happen at this point. You know what I mean? I just think that Iran's totally screwed. But here's the thing. If Iran actually comes to the table and agrees to all this, I'm satisfied. I just don't know how long the agreement's going to last. I have a feeling that they're going to start trying to develop a nuclear weapon again the moment they sign this treaty, and they're just going to break it. So
let's bring in independent journalist Nick.
Oh, we got Nicholas Shirley on Fox News.
Nick Shirley, who is exposing alleged fraud from
hot, dude, hot.
Minnesota to right here in California. Nick, great to have you on the show as
Big
always.
Dick Nick, dude.
Who better to talk about the Stop Nick Shirley Act than Nick?
Oh, double tap your screen if you guys love Nick Shirley as much as I do. Double tap your screen if you guys think he's the man. Double tap it. If you guys love Donald J. Trump, double tap your screen, dude.
Shirley, I want to play some sound. This is Mia Bonta, who is married, by the way, to the Attorney General of California, Rob Bonta. She's pushing this. Watch.
Individuals who provide vital immigrant support services, including legal aid, humanitarian relief, case management, and advocacy, are facing targeted harassment.
Are they?
This is not hypothetical. Advocates and workers are receiving death threats, being targeted at courthouses, and facing coordinated online doxing campaigns.
So what she's saying
Really?
here, Nick, is you're not uncovering fraud. No.
Small
You are
wiener
going around
gang.
and you are harassing people.
Jeez. Miguel Garcia, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Everybody give Miguel Garcia a shout out. Thank you for becoming the greatest pink brony bro of all time. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you. I love you. You're so cute. You're all so cute. Everybody, one more time. Miguel Garcia, everybody. Small wiener gang. Thank you for subscribing, man. I appreciate you. But yeah, Nick Shirley's the man, dude. If you guys love Nick Shirley as much as I do, double tap your screen. If you guys think Nick Shirley's the man, double tap it. Double tap your screen. Double tap it. If you think Nick Shirley's the man, double tap.
Minnesota to California. What's your response to that?
Yeah, well, my response is stop using these communities to commit fraud, and no one ever have any speculation about fraud taking place when we know that the fraud is very much real.
So
I mean,
sexy.
the Somalis in Minnesota, they stole hundreds of millions,
They did.
billions of dollars. And then the hospice fraud that took place inside of California, everyone was saying that was bogus. And then her husband actually tried to take credit for exposing the hospice fraud after I had went and exposed the hospice.
It's so funny. He exposed all of it, and then Tim Walz and all those jackwagons tried to take credit for exposing the fraud. No, you didn't expose the fraud. You allowed the fraud to happen, and it took a guy like Nick fucking Shirley to go down there and actually uncover it because your own citizens hate you. The citizens of Minnesota, I'm pretty sure a lot of them hate Tim Walz. I'm pretty sure a lot of them in Minneapolis can't stand Mayor Jacob Fry because Mayor Jacob Fry is a piece of garbage. Yeah, they're all pieces of garbage.
Fraud. So my message to her would be stop using these communities to commit fraud.
Yeah, and you know, we had Katie Zachariah on the show last night, and she was talking about the Stop Nick Shirley Act. She was also talking about Mia Bonta and how deceitful it is that she's literally turning this into something that it is not even close to being, and her husband is running, you know, the highest law enforcement officer in the state. Here's Katie.
It is very, very disturbing that you have the wife of the Attorney General introducing a bill that silences, that chills First Amendment free speech, investigating this fraud, and absolutely shows that they don't want to.
Yeah, and it's funny because this bill, by the way, is unconstitutional. Just to let you know, the bill they're trying to enact is unconstitutional because, first off, it interferes with freedom of the press. Even though just because Nick Shirley doesn't work for CNN doesn't mean he doesn't have his own personal freedom of the press. He is a form of the press. He may be a small form of it, but he is a form of the press. Freedom of the press matters. And if Nick Shirley wants to question people and he wants to do his own investigative journalism, that is Nick Shirley's damn fucking right. All right? And the fact that he uncovered the fraud is incredible. And the fact, it's so funny. Seeing people in California try to enact a bill called the basically it's called the Stop Nick Shirley Act. The fact that this is happening should disturb all of us. This should disturb every single one of us. And if it doesn't disturb you in any way, I don't know what to tell you. But it should. It really should disturb a lot of us. And I think it's crazy. I think Nick Shirley is... first off, I think Nick Shirley's kind of a national treasure, if we're being honest. I think he's amazing. And to those of you who don't understand that Nick Shirley's doing some damn good work, that's on you, bro. That is on you. Like, Nick Shirley's doing some damn good work, bro.
Expose fraud. They want to keep hiding it.
But here's the thing. I mean, it's got to make you feel kind of good here, Nick, because they are running scared. They're villainizing you, and the governor has villainized. If they are going after you, you got to be close to the target, very close to the big target, and they know it.
Oh, Nick's got this, dude. Big dick Nick, dude. By the way, like I said, if you guys love Nick Shirley, double tap your screen, baby. If you guys love Donald Trump, you guys think that Donald Trump and Nick Shirley are pretty damn dope, double tap your screen, yo. Double tap it, yeah. Just don't tap it with your tip. You gotta get a grip. Don't tap it with your tip.
Well, I obviously hit a nerve. And what's interesting about this bill is it's protecting NGOs and nonprofits.
Mm-hmm.
These are organizations and groups that receive our tax dollars.
Oh, yeah.
Yet they want to make it so we can't find out what they're doing with our tax dollars.
That is so messed up, too, because we should know. We should know exactly what is happening with those tax dollars. Absolutely should know. 100% without a doubt. And Nick Shirley exposed it. And all these people in California and Minnesota, they're like, oh, we're trying to take credit for it. And we're also trying to outlaw you from being able to uncover it yourselves. You have to let us do the job. Well, you weren't doing the job. That's why Nick Shirley had to come in and expose all the fraud that was happening in your guys' respective states. The reason Nick Shirley came in is because concerned citizens that have to deal with your mismanagement of government had to reach out to Nick Shirley and be like, dude, can you please come down here and fix this mess? Can you help us out, please? And Nick Shirley was like, yeah, I got a big dong, so I'm gonna help you out, dude. Nick Shirley's like, yeah, I got a big schlong, and I'm gonna take this baguette and I'm gonna help you out, bro. All right, dude. Nick Shirley's the man, dude. I love Nick. If you guys love Nick Shirley as much as I do, double tap your screen. Oh, yeah. Just don't tap it with your tip. You got to get a grip. Don't tap it with your tip. Don't tap it with your tip. You got to get a grip. Don't tap it with your tip. Okay, hold on. I want to pour myself an energy drink. And I know that it's you. Yeah, Miss Bones VRR, you're lying. Miss Bones VRR, you are lying through your teeth. You are straight up lying to the chat. Why are you doing that?
If nobody knew about these NGOs, nobody would know that they were trafficking children into the United States with these immigration support providers or services that they were providing inside the state of California underneath Biden. And so by doing this, they're literally saying, hey, don't look in here because we got lots of fraud.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what they're saying is no, 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 no. Don't look here. Don't look there. J.D. Vance was at the cabinet meeting this week, and he was talking about how important the work is of uncovering.
Okay, but he uncovered more fraud, is the point. Okay, so if why did he uncover more fraud if all the people got arrested? If all the people got arrested beforehand, why did he uncover more fraud and why are more people getting arrested? Tell me that. Riddle me that. Do not gaslight us, Miss. Hey, Miss Bones VR, the reason the Democrats keep losing, by the way, is because they keep trying to gaslight us, just like you. We're not going to be gaslit anymore by the Democrat Party. Anything Democrats tell us, we basically just say, screw it. Move the goalpost, that's exactly what you're doing. You're accusing us of moving the goalpost. You're the one who's moving it. You constantly move the goalpost.
Fraud. He said this.
One of the people that Todd just prosecuted was a person who was collecting a lot of money from the American taxpayer to take care of elderly citizens. That particular case was outside of Minneapolis. We expect that there are tens of thousands of people who are collecting fraudulent money to take care of people, and they're not actually taking care of them. We're, of course, going to get to the root of as much of it as we can.
I mean, you talked about hundreds of millions
JD,
and billions.
Dude. JD's the freaking man, dude. You guys, if you guys love JD as much as I do, please like the stream. Please tap that like button if you love JD.
I mean, this is tip of the iceberg kind of stuff, right, Nick, where you go out and you know and I know that this problem is worse than anybody ever imagined. Talk about that.
Well, the fraud has been going on for so long. These fraudsters thought they could get away with it for so long that so many people started committing this fraud. And so now you're seeing people like me go and expose them, and they got away with it for so long they didn't even try to hide it. I mean, look at the Leering Center right there, for instance.
Quality Leering Center, baby. That's my former alma mater, the Quality Leering Center.
They literally got away with it for so long that they thought that nothing was going to happen, and now that the fraud's starting to be exposed, they're just like literally freaking out because they know their time's up, or they know that they could be the one to be investigated next.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering, that the act is called the Stop Nick Shirley Act. It's not the official name, but everybody calls it the Stop Nick Shirley Act. Are they going to stop Nick Shirley? I mean, is this going to be the... Hell
no, dude. Hell no. They ain't stopping Nick Shirley, dude. They're not stopping because, dude, the Stop Nick Shirley Act is basically a violation of the Constitution. It interferes with freedom of the press. It interferes with freedom of the press. If he has every right to interview whoever the fuck he wants. If they tell him that they don't want to be interviewed, fine, he'll walk away and he'll go find somebody else to interview. But we're watching. We see what's happening, dude. We see what the hell's happening, bro.
The end of it, or are they out of luck?
No, I think they're out of luck. If not, it just motivates me even more to go and expose it, because that just means that there's even more. That's what they don't. That's what they don't get. Is by trying to silence somebody, they're just going to make them want to go out and do something even more. And so I don't think it's going to stop me. $4,000 fine. That's what they're trying to propose if you do it.
Yeah, $4,000 fine. You know what? Nick Shirley's fans will pay for that through super chats in a heartbeat. Nick Shirley's fans will pay for that in a second. Oh my God, that's great, dude. So good.
Because they're literally trying to make it so you can't post videos on social media. I think a lot of people would support me in helping pay for those.
Yeah, exactly. $1,000 fine, $1 billion.
They would absolutely support Nick Shirley because I love Nick, dude. I think what Nick is doing is so fabulous, dude. This kid is so awesome.
Gain. Yeah, I think I know where people are going to come down on this. Nick Shirley, great to have you on the show. Best of luck. Great work as always. Thank you.
Amazing, dude. Everybody give a round of applause to Big Dick Nick. Everybody double tap your screen, too. If you guys love Nick Shirley, double tap your screen, bro. And when you double tap the screen, it helps us get likes. So double tap the screen to like the stream. It really does help us out quite a bit. The more likes we get, the better. So thank you guys for tapping the screen, double tapping, because double tapping helps us get more likes. I really appreciate it. Okay, we're desperate for likes. Oh my God, a Ping Trip parody. Hell yeah.
Why aren't people f***ing like they used to?
We need to fix this problem.
Right.
I love Ping Trip so much. These videos get me every time, dude.
Let me just say, you're cute. You're extremely sexy. Do you want to go home with me?
No.
These are amazing, dude. I love Ping Trip so much.
I'm just trying to make you come. I can do that with my dick. I've never seen it not bring a smile to someone's face.
Look, I'm not into it, you know?
Right. You don't have to check with what the right answer is. It just is, and you know it is. You'd love it.
Oh my God, this is great.
I want your hands on me. I want to feel that. Let's use those hands.
This is like, I don't like this.
This is so...
You're gay.
This is amazing, dude. This is amazing. 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 Oh my God. This is too funny, man. I love Ping Trip, though. I watch a lot of Ping Trip stuff, and he's one of the funniest dudes on the internet just because of all his fucking remixes are great, dude. All of his remixes are amazing. Amazing.
No, I'm not gay.
Trust me, no one knows better than I do. You're gay.
I'm straight. I strive for a man who is over 6 feet tall, makes over 6 figures annually, and has a penis that is larger than 6 inches.
Fuck you. I think you're a bitch. You're a fucking loser.
That's not going to make people want to have sex with you.
Shut the fuck up.
That's awful.
You don't have that much to offer. You're not that interesting. You're vapid. And there's
These are
a
amazing,
thousand
dude.
million
I love
chicks
Ping
out here
Trip.
just like you. And you think you deserve, like, the upper echelon kind of guy? Get over yourself.
Whatever.
Fuck you.
Okay, I'm going to go home now.
Good riddance. You weren't fun to hang with anyway.
That was amazing, dude. Oh my God. That was unbelievable. Dude, that was pretty good. Dude, if you guys can, make sure that if you guys have never heard of Ping Trip before, make sure you look up Ping Trip and tap the subscribe button because he is a funny motherfucker. He's one of the funniest dudes on YouTube. He does these hilarious his Joe Rogan ones are pretty good. In fact, you know what? Let me pull up one of his Joe Rogan ones. Those ones are just too fucking funny, man. Yeah. Ping Trip right there, my boy. Let me see here. Where's it at here? He's made a lot of funny ones. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Okay. Oh, Jordan Peterson. Oh my God. Yes.
I just want to ask you sort of a question about.
No.
What did you learn about yourself?
Don't do that.
Do you have regrets when you look back at your life?
Don't do that. No means no. You think I'm a fool. If you continue that pattern of behavior, something you do not like will happen to you with 100% certainty.
No.
You're being disrespectful.
I love how uncomfortable
What the hell do
these
you
are.
know? Idiot. You look like an idiot.
To me, it's disrespectful.
You're a narcissistic psychopath.
Why are we doing it this way? I wish it didn't have to be this way.
Because I don't like you.
I'm a nice guy.
No, you're not. You're just a weak coward.
You're being very harsh.
Why the hell should I have anything to do with you if you're useless? You're so useless. You don't know anything.
F you, son of a bitch. Like, go f yourself.
Bring it on. Do your worst. I have a weapon. What's your relationship with death?
This
is amazing.
Bad idea.
Dude, this is so fucking amazing, dude. First off, Lex Freeman's podcast is probably one of the worst podcasts I've ever seen. But I do love me a little Jordan Peterson. Clean your room. You gotta clean your room. You don't understand? I'm about to cry. Just want to let you know that sometimes you gotta clean your room. Jordan Peterson. Yeah. I don't understand. I want to cry. I'm a full-grown man. I'm not afraid to cry. This is amazing, dude.
Yeah.
It's your problem.
This is so
you are
funny,
in
dude.
like mortal trouble because you might die, and that's the end of your.
Dude, I'm telling you guys, subscribe to Ping Trip, one of the greatest YouTube channels of all time. Please subscribe to Ping Trip. He is so cool, so fucking funny, dude. So freaking funny.
Your trip.
He's not a good man.
I'm gonna kill your family.
Horrible.
Oh my
man.
God.
Weak men aren't good. They're just weak.
I'm better than you.
Oh my.
Bring it on. I really enjoyed the mayhem.
You've achieved nothing.
So fucking good, dude. So freaking incredible, dude. Those are so funny. Look, if you guys love Ping Trip as much as I do, please double tap your screen to like the stream. One more time. Double tap your screen to like the stream. Oh, we're closer to a deal. Here we go.
Breaking news, and we will pick it up from here.
We're super close to a deal, everybody. We're right there. We're so effing close to a deal. Make sure that you guys tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. Once again, tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. The more subscribers we get, the better. It does help the channel grow in more ways than one. Let's keep going.
As we continue to watch what's happening at the White House, as the president has just told the nation that he is pulling into the Situation Room now. And I want to go straight away to senior White House correspondent Peter Doocy as we welcome you to the Faulkner Focus. I'm Harris Faulkner. So, Peter, we learned just moments ago from this Truth Social post so much about what's on the table. Iran must agree that they will never give up a nuclear weapon or bomb. The Hormuz Strait must be immediately open. No tolls for unrestricted shipping traffic in both directions. All water mines, bombs, if any, will be terminated. We have removed through detonation numerous such mines. It goes on to say ships caught in the strait due to our amazing and unprecedented naval blockade, which will now be lifted, may start the process of heading home. Say hello to your wives, husbands, parents, and families from me, your favorite president. So he is, Peter, it looks like forecasting that this could be possible. Are we any closer to a deal? And the movement into the Situation Room rather than the Oval Office, do we understand anything about that?
Yes, Harris, we are closer. And the Situation Room part of this is most likely because they told us at 11 o'clock he was going to be receiving the presidential daily brief, his intelligence briefing. And so they don't usually tell us exactly where that is happening, but he's able to talk to different people on secure feeds in the Situation Room that he is not able to communicate with from the Oval Office, or at least it's easier to do it from the Situation Room. And because he told us he's going down there, we can tell once he's made his way underground, once there is...
Hey, thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. If you guys think that Donald John Trump is the greatest president of all time, tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
A Marine sentry outside the West Wing. There isn't one yet, But something else really significant from this Truth Social post. We heard him at the cabinet meeting 2 days ago say that he is not comfortable with China or Russia going into Iran to take the enriched uranium, what he calls nuclear dust, out. Now he is saying that the United States and China are actually the only countries with the ability to do that, but that it is going to be taken out by the United States in close coordination, he says, with the Islamic Republic of Iran, plus the International Atomic Energy Agency. Those are specifics that we did not have before that make it sound like that part has been negotiated. And that's
well, that sounds good. I mean, if it's actually been negotiated,
so far we've just
perfect.
been talking about getting to a 60-day extension of the ceasefire from where they can start to negotiate the finer points of the nuclear program.
It needs to be done, dude. It needs to be done, bro.
There have been
gotta
calls
be done, dude.
to some of the Iranian leaders and the IAEA about exactly who will be the players in doing that. We just don't know when or where. This does speak to this whole week of the president talking to his negotiators and also talking to his military planners and his diplomats. He is hearing everybody out before deciding what to do next. And he talked a little bit about this in an interview that is going to air on Saturday on Fox. Listen here.
The president very clearly stated his
that they would cross for you to go on the offensive again militarily?
Well, a deal that wasn't going to be good for us is the line, ultimately, because, you know, I'm playing it out and we're going to see, and that's what I do. I negotiate, they negotiate. They're very good negotiators. They're crafty.
They're also, though, committing egregious ceasefire violations, according to CENTCOM, who are accusing the Iranians of launching a ballistic missile towards Kuwait and also launching 5 one-way attack drones near the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. officials believe the elected officials and the IRGC and the clerics that are governing Iran are having a hard time talking to each other during these talks with the U.S. So it's
well, that makes sense. I mean, of course they're going to have a hard time, as I think their entire communication network's pretty much just screwed up. First off, they ended up killing... First off, they've killed their own citizens. Iran has. The Iranian government has. Iranian government's evil, in my opinion. In my opinion, the Iranian government is pure evil as you could get. Any government that kills its own citizens, I don't respect in any way, shape, or form. I don't think anybody should. Iran's government's evil. They are purely evil. Straight up. I know there's people who are not going to agree with me on that. I don't really care what you think. I don't care what you think, dude. I don't give a crap what you think, yo. I just don't. I don't. Don't give a crap. I'll tell you that your butt stinks and all that.
It's unclear which key groups are supportive of an arrangement that gives President Trump what he wants, but we know exactly what he wants because that is the last on-camera bite we got from Scott Bessent yesterday.
The president very clearly stated his 3, the open the strait, highly enriched uranium, no nuclear program. If there can be no deal without those, why would there be a deal without those?
So it's no secret what President Trump needs to get to the point where he's blessing a deal. The only thing that we don't know is what he's hearing from the Iranian side. Harris.
And Peter, just a point of fact, and I am going to ask you to stick when we bring in the Vice Admiral, so we're both on with him at the same time. But I want to ask about the 60-day ceasefire. I'm curious about how that stays together, because this one has been really shaky. Any word?
No word yet. But if President Trump is saying that he's going to start lifting a naval blockade, it seems like there is some agreement among the key players about letting traffic come through, commercial and military traffic back through the Strait of Hormuz. And that was the first thing that had to happen. When Scott Bessent came out yesterday, there weren't a lot of specifics about exactly how they get to a deal, but he said nothing is going to happen until the Strait of Hormuz is open first. And so if that happens, it seems like that is a sign of a show of good faith from the Iranians, if there is good faith from Iranian negotiators possible.
Yeah.
And then
hopefully
they go from there.
Right? I mean, we still don't have crisp knowledge of exactly who's in power completely in that country after debilitating their military and radical Islamic government that was existing. in part still are. I want to bring in now in focus Vice
Let's
Admiral
see
John
here.
Fozzie Miller and the former CENTCOM Naval Forces Commander, and just ask you about the military portion of this, Vice Admiral. And welcome to the program, by the way. Peter Ducey is going to stay with us. And Peter, if you have a question, we'll pull you right on screen. I want to start with how you hold pat now through this deal for 60 days, because we can't just pull our military forces out of there. So what does the mission look like during a potential pause in this for longer?
Well, good morning, Harris. Thanks so much for having me. We're going to have to stay engaged in the region, and in particular, of course, in the Strait of Hormuz. And it's during the length of the ceasefire, so for the next 60 days. But then afterwards, I think we'll need to as well. Oddly enough, the Iranian regime has a history, as they get close to a negotiated deal, of behaving in a more belligerent fashion. And we're seeing that right now.
Oh, yeah, and they are. And here's the thing. This is why you can't do a deal with Iran. They act belligerently. They do stupid crap. I don't think it's worth doing a deal with Iran. I think dealing with Iran is like dealing with the devil. It's just not. You don't want to make a deal with the devil. Yeah, you just don't want to make a deal with the devil, man.
Now, in the Strait, they've conducted some attacks against shipping. They've conducted some attacks allegedly against U.S. Naval warships, and we've responded to most of those. So it's not surprising to me that they're acting in a belligerent fashion. Even after we get a deal, I think there will be certain instances that happen in the Strait itself that will require the U.S. security measures to make sure that the ships that are going through can get through unimpeded. So this is, even though it may be negotiated, we're going to have to continue to be prepared to use force to keep the negotiation on track and to keep the deal in place.
Look, I've got this Truth Social in front of me, and this is how we've just learned about all of this from the President of the United States on his Truth Social post. It's lengthy, it's got some detail in it, and this part, I think, jumps out. No money will be exchanged until further notice. Other items of far less importance have been agreed to. I will be meeting now in the Situation Room to make a final determination. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. So that's the bottom, third of this. What does that tell you? Because the U.S. blockade of the Iranian ports has debilitated their economy over there. So the carrot still hanging in the wind is going to be whether or not they get any money.
Right. There's two ways the regime can get money, and they're interested in both of them, and we're not. The first, of course, is unfreezing of assets, and I think that's specifically what the president is referring to in the Truth Social post. But in addition to that, it's their ability to export oil, which our blockade is preventing them from doing. If I understand the deal correctly, they will open up the Strait of Hormuz, and then we will do a phased opening of the blockade and allow shipping into and out of Iranian ports, which would include, of course, oil.
I want to get to something that General Jack Keane said, that the
Jack Keane, baby. Jack mother effing Keane, dude.
United
I love
States
that guy.
needs to have enforcement mechanisms in this deal.
Jack Keane, baby.
It's unlikely they're going to change, no matter what deal we put together. At the end of it,
I love you, Jack Keane. Touching the monitor.
But they're going to want to recover everything that they're losing and go back to their original goals. So in the deal, and our negotiators understand this, we've got to have the provisions in there to prevent as much of that as possible from happening. The second thing is, we know they're going to cheat. Look at this. Right now, what's taking place just this week alone with the violation of the ceasefire in the Straits of Hormuz. Who's doing that? The Iranians are.
Oh, yeah. Iranian regime will try to cheat on any of the deals. Absolutely. 100%. I agree with that completely, wholeheartedly. You're not going to get any argument from me, Jack Keane. I'm hoping that a deal can be reached. But honestly, what we're going to see after the deal gets reached, I have a feeling that Iran is going to screw things up like they always Laugh out loud.
They're doing that.
Hey, thank you, CR. Everybody give a shout out to my boy, CRXRB5I. Thank you for sending a gold coin for 10 jewels. Mucho appreciato. Thank you so much. If anybody wants to send a gift, obviously, we do appreciate it. It's never a requirement, but it's something we like to encourage. Even if it's a small gift, it does help the channel in more ways than one. So any gifts that anybody wants to send, whether it's one gold coin or multiple gold coins, whether you want to send a happy, well, I don't know if they have happy poop. They don't have happy poop anymore, dude. Hold on, I'm going to look at the gifts real quick. I'm a little bit pissed off at the lack of happy poop yum yums. Hold on. They used to have the happy poop yum yums in the gift section, but now they don't, dude. Pisses me off. It pisses me off. Oh, they got an Unk Alert. That's right, they got Unk Alert. That's my favorite. They got Stay Hydrated. Let's see. Lol, 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 lol. You guys can send whatever gift you want. And by the way, it gets highlighted on the screen, just to let you know. So if anybody sends a gift, your gift gets highlighted on the screen, and you get to hear Chris Hansen say, laugh out loud. So it's pretty dope.
Laugh out loud.
Hey, thank you so much, CRXR, for sending a gold coin for 10 jewels. Mucho apreciado again. Everybody give a shout out to our boy, Shaboy. We do appreciate the gold coins on this channel. It does help us a lot, actually. So the more coins we get, the better. Actually, the more gifts we get, the better. So it really does help. So any gifts that you guys want to send, we really do appreciate it. Anyway.
And we had to react to it.
Vice Admiral, I want to get your reaction to that we need to have a mechanism to monitor this, a mechanism of enforcement.
Say it one more time, I dare you. What are you talking about, CR? CRXR is saying, say it one more time, I dare you. Say what one more time? Are you talking to me, CRXR? I want a gold coin, bro. I want my gold coins. Double tap your screen to like the stream, though. The more likes we get, the better. It does help us out on the algorithm. So once again, double tap your screen to like the stream. It does help us. It helps push the show out to multiple sources on the algorithm. So more likes, the better. Let's keep going. Also, don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. Let's go.
The regime is never to be trusted, and so we have to be prepared, even during the 60-day ceasefire and then beyond that, to maintain the Strait of Hormuz open and free so that shipping can get in and out of the Gulf unimpeded. The Iranians from time to time will interfere with that over the next 60 days, and they'll do it after a final peace agreement is settled. They did it before hostilities broke out back in February. So General Keenan is exactly right. We have to watch them. We have to be prepared to use force to make them do the things that they've agreed to on paper.
All right, Vice Admiral, I just want to reset for all those people who may be tuning in as they head into their weekend. This may be as close as we have been to seeing any actual movement in this. We know that the President of the United States has been waiting patiently to see what Iran would do. And now we know he's in the Situation Room right now. Could be very close to a final determination is what he has just put on his Truth Social. Our correspondent, Peter Doocy, I want to bring you back with any final thoughts. And also we have the Vice Admiral with us.
Harris, I would go one step further. This is definitely the closest that we have been to a deal because we have not heard from the president this thing that he says at the end that other items of less importance have been agreed to. To date, it has basically just been these guys are giving us the runaround. We might call the bombers back in. Something else to note here. President Trump says that no money will be exchanged. When he ran for president, he was a big critic of this Obama-era Iran deal, and he talked a lot about...
Dude, the Obama-era Iran deal was a piece of crap deal. It was a garbage-ass deal. You know it, Peter Doocy. Oh, is it Steve Doocy? Is it Peter Doocy? Hold on. That's Peter Doocy, right? Yeah, it is Peter Doocy. Okay. I always mix up the Doocies because I know there's like a Steve Doocy and there's like a Peter Doocy. I don't know which one's which, and I don't really care. I don't really give two craps.
Pallets of cash on the back of a plane that were taken somewhere for the Iranians to get it. We don't know if no money exchanged, though, means that no money will be unfrozen, because as a result of these Iranian sanctions, the U.S. sanctions that we put on Iran, there are tens of millions of dollars in various accounts all over the world. It adds up to billions, and the Iranians really want that unfrozen. We don't know if no money will be exchanged means that all of that money will stay frozen, if they are being intentionally specific or intentionally vague, but that remains to be seen.
And you were giving us kind of the lay of the land of the daily briefing that he gets, not the daily briefing, but the
the president's daily brief, his intelligence
his daily
briefing,
brief, his intelligence brief. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And how that would be different in the Oval Office, not impossible, but different with all the
Come
people
on out with it, you
assembled.
guys.
So
What are
he's
we
in
talking
the
about here?
Situation Room. If you'll just relay that.
There should definitely be no tolls in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran should have zero control over the Strait of Hormuz because Iran sucks. Iran's government's evil. They're terrible. They kill their own citizens. They've killed thousands of their own citizens just for protesting the existing regime. Iran is also terrible. The Iranian government's also terrible because they were trying to develop a nuclear weapon. They were enriching uranium to near weapons grade levels. Also, I got to say it again, they've been the #1 state sponsor of terror for a very, very, very long time. Iran has been a terrible, terrible, terrible country for a very, very, very long time. I want that to be very clear. Very effing clear. We should not be, if there's anybody in America who's siding with Iran, I feel sorry for you. You are lost. You're a lost soul. You're a fool. I really think you're a fool. If you're siding with Iran's government on this one, you're an idiot. You're dumb. You're a dumb person. I'm sorry. I'm being judgy. I'm being super judgy right now.
That for us before we go to break.
Yes, the Oval Office, when there is not a press corps in there, is a secure information facility, but it doesn't have all of the feeds and all of the screens and all of the live maps connected already the way that the Situation Room downstairs does. So they could set all that up for the president in the Oval Office. It would make for a nice photograph, but everything exists in the Situation Room for a situation just like this. He can beam in the CENTCOM commander wherever it is that he is speaking from. He can beam in somebody on a ship who is dragging something, trying to make sure that
The Situation Room, baby. That's kind of hot, dude. Like I said, if you guys think that Donald John Trump is the greatest president we've ever had, double tap your screen, baby. Double tap your screen to like the stream if you believe that Donald John Trump's one of the best presidents we've ever had. I think he's incredible, man. I really do. I think he's actually doing a hell of a job. And to anybody who disagrees with me, fine, disagree with me. But damn, dude. You got to realize, dude, real recognizes real, dude. Real recognizes real. I see. Dude, Donald Trump's just a real dude. He's a real dude, all right?
there are no mines in the strait. He can beam in J.D. Vance wherever he is. Everybody can be right there. They also have a long table in the Situation Room, and it's right next to where they have some snacks. So.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, it's.
You had me on the hook until that part.
convenience.
I was like, okay,
Yeah.
we're in it, and now we're snacking. I want to thank both of you gentlemen. Peter, thank you for your great reporting. Always, we're sticking on the story. We're going to take a very quick break. Vice Admiral, thank you.
Could we see a deal today? It kind of sounds like there's going to be a deal. It sounds like an Iranian deal is going to happen, man. It's starting to seem like that. And like, look, I want peace more than anybody. I just don't trust Iran, dude. I just don't trust Iran for the life of me. I just don't. And he says Trump is awesome. He's a great president. Absolutely, he is. CRXR is saying some of us old folks remember the Carter administration. Things can get way worse than they are right now, especially when a Democrat is running the show, without a doubt, dude. Honestly, it scares me when Democrats run the show, dude. I don't like it. Because Democrats tend to be very incompetent, and they tend to be socialists. And socialists and communists, communism and incompetence tend to go hand in hand. And if you believe in a terrible idea like communism or socialism, you tend to be a very incompetent person. Tend to be.
We'll be right back. Be sure to like.
At least in my experience, that's what I've been able to see. Oh, the Democrats are furious over Jill Biden's book details. Ooh! Dude, I'm so excited about this, dude, because Joe Biden was one of the worst presidents we ever had. He was worse than Jimmy Carter, by the way.
Democrats who want to focus on the midterms are reportedly fuming over former First Lady Jill Biden's book tour as she delivers a play-by-play campaign of the 2024 race, including former President Joe Biden's disastrous
Joe Biden, baby.
Debate performance.
Madeline Rivera is live in Washington with
One of the worst debate performances of all time, by the way.
all the details. Hi, Maddie.
Good morning, Carly and Todd. That's right. Former First Lady Jill Biden's new book is coming under a lot of scrutiny for some nuggets that she shared. For one, she says she was frightened by former President Joe Biden's debate performance in 2024 and thought he might have been having a stroke or that he was drugged. But at the time, she defended.
No, first off, neither. Well, maybe the stroke part. But here's the thing. Joe Biden has been incompetent for a very, very long time. He was one of the worst presidents we ever had. Not just one of the worst. He is the worst. He is the worst president we've ever had. Straight up. Oh, Nate Dogg just sent a gold coin. But you know what sucks? Gold coin isn't showing up on the screen. What the hell? I don't know why, but the gold coin didn't show up on the screen for us. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll replay one of
Laugh Out Loud.
His previous gold coins. Laugh out loud. But yeah, if you guys want, please feel free to. I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to give some shout outs to some people who have sent gifts and stuff like that. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to play every super chat that I can just to show you guys how awesome everybody is. Hold on.
Laugh Out Loud.
Hey dude, enjoy this $2. I feel really bad for you.
These are people who have super chatted in the past in the last few days. So everybody give a shout out to some of these
Laugh Out Loud.
Amazing people. Who have
Veteran
super chatted.
retired here. USMC, we love Trump, haha.
Thank you so much for that super chat. These are previous super chats, by the way. Give a shout out to Jason Beatrice. We want to give people their flowers. We like to replay
Laugh Out Loud.
Some of the super
It's
chats.
Tuesday, pick a clock, take your shot.
Yeah, these are great, dude. These are amazing. I love replaying the super chats, though. I really do.
Laugh Out Loud.
Democrats can't budget, both in government and the constituents.
Yep. Precisely.
Laugh Out Loud.
Trump lied again.
Yep.
Laugh Out Loud.
I feel bad for you believing garbage. Enjoyed the two.
I love the super chats. Usually the people who send super chats are my biggest haters. A lot
Laugh
of the people,
Out Loud.
So you know how Asmod SND Hassan are the same people, they make money on the politics.
Hey, we got Magic Man in the house. I love you, Magic Man. Magic Man's a stud, dude. We got a few studs in the house. We have Nate Dogg sending gold coins.
Laugh Out Loud.
They live/profit on the political arguments.
Beautiful people. Okay, let's take a look-see.
And her husband's debate performance, his team chalking up his stumbles to a cold. Democrats
Laugh
are
Out Loud.
reportedly angry
Is that Hassan boyfriend? I am serious.
the former First Lady is bringing up these old wounds as they try to win back Congress. One Democrat who worked as a senior aide in the Biden era tells the New York Post,
Laugh Out
I think Joe
Loud.
Biden
Is
must
he
have had
gay? Hassan looks gay.
Oh, thank you, Magic Man, for sending a gold coin for 10 jewels. Mucho apreciado, my man. Everybody give a shout out to Magic Man for sending a gold coin for
Laugh
10
out loud.
jewels, man. Thank you. Magic Man just sent, yeah, there we go. It's showing Magic Man on here. Hell yeah. Thank you for that gold coin, brother. I don't know why, so Nathan sent a gold coin for 10 jewels, but I didn't see it pop up. Maybe I just missed it. I don't know. I didn't see it pop up on the center of the screen, though, because typically it does. But yeah, thank you for the gold coin, Mr. Magic Man. Hell yeah. Let's keep going.
A stroke herself to think that her husband was up to the job. Still, she insists her husband was not in cognitive decline, even as she admits he was slowing down.
Dude, he was in cognitive decline. We could all see it.
Did you ever see signs that he was falling into cognitive decline?
It was so obvious that he was falling into cognitive decline. If she denies this, I'm going to be so pissed.
No. People were saying he...
No? Dude, the whole world freaking knew that your husband was in cognitive decline. Come on, man. It was so obvious, dude.
Wasn't the same Joe Biden.
Well, I don't think that's true. He was the essence of the same Joe Biden. But yeah, he was slowing down. He was getting older. I mean, we all observe that. When you know, it's a very intense job. I think it ages you quickly.
Jill also says she disagreed with former President Biden's initial refusal to pardon their son, Hunter. Per an excerpt obtained by the...
He refused. Well, of course he refused. Well, it's funny that, God, Hunter Biden, dude. Hunter Biden is such a sleazebag, though. Hunter Biden is the definition of sleazebag. Oh, my God. Dude, he is so awful. Hunter frickin' Biden, bro.
Associated Press, she wrote, "In the end, it felt like in working so hard to be impartial, we guaranteed that Hunter would meet the worst possible legal fate. Joe might have gone too..."
Dude, wait, hold on. Is Joe Biden going to get his own book? Oh, wait, hold on. In the new memoir, so wait, is this the Biden memoir? Hold on. Is there a new Joe Biden book? I gotta look that up. Hold on. Is this... Former First Lady Jill Biden released a new memoir titled View from the East Wing. Experiences of the White House, family challenges, including Hunter's... Yeah, this is so crazy. Dude, Jill Biden's just trying to make it... Dude, Jill Biden is trying to make as much money as she can. And granted, good for her. I appreciate her entrepreneurial spirit, but at the same time, she committed... I mean, you could argue that she allegedly committed elder abuse by allowing Joe Biden to be president.
Far, in my opinion, to show that his family was being treated with complete impartiality. Jill also shares she was fired from Northern Virginia Community College in 2023 after the grant used to pay her salary dried up. Ultimately, though, the issue was resolved and she kept her teaching position until she left in December 2024. Carly and Todd.
Maddie, thank you. Let's bring in senior writer for the Washington Examiner and Fox News contributor Joe Concha. And Joe, there are a lot of angles to take on this story, but there's one that seems to rise above all else, and I'm going to repeat it here. If you think your husband has had a stroke, you immediately head to the hospital. You don't immediately head to a Waffle House. Why is she doing this, Joe?
Yeah, I mean...
She doesn't give two shits about Joe Biden. She just loved the clout. She loved the fact that she could get all the clout in that position. She loved the notoriety, the fame that came with being the first lady. That Jill Biden was obsessed with the fame. She didn't give two craps about Joe. She didn't give two utter craps about the Biden. All right? I mean, let's just face it.
After that debate, she did go to Waffle House with her husband. Obviously, syrup, butter, waffles, probably not great for the heart at that point. And guys, look, the Bidens are worth somewhere around $10 million. You could draw your own conclusions as to why that is. So why write a book if you're Dr. Jill Biden and air all this laundry that she's talking about now? She disagrees with Hunter Biden being pardoned. Well, all right, take that up with your husband privately. You got to put that in a book so you could sell a couple more copies. And also, zero people not named Biden are buying Jill Biden's contention that...
Yeah, nobody wants to... Who the hell is going to buy this book? I'm not going to waste my fucking money buying a memoir about one of the worst presidents of all time. Joe Biden was one of the worst presidents of all time. I'm not buying this stupid memoir. Why would anybody take their hard-earned money and buy this stupid book? Joe Biden was the worst president we ever had. Double tap the screen if you believe that Joe Biden was one of the worst presidents we ever had. Because I firmly believe that. I firmly believe he was one of the worst. No, actually, he was the worst. He was even worse than Jimmy Carter. And that's saying something. Jimmy Carter, before Joe Biden, Jimmy Carter was the worst president of all time. Joe Biden is now officially the worst president of all time. Double tap your screen if you agree. But yeah, if you guys agree with me, double tap your screen. Double tap it, man. Just don't tap it with your tip, okay? Just don't tap it with your tip. You gotta get a grip. Don't tap it with your tip. But yeah, double tap your screen if you agree with me on that one. I'm floored. I'm floored, man.
What happened at that?
I would never. I mean, if they gave me a free copy, I'd probably read it on this. I'd read it on the live stream and make fun of it. Yeah, if you gave me a free copy of this Joe Biden memoir, I would read it on the show and make fun of it. E.T., I mean, you're making a good point, E.T. Yeah, no, Jill Biden's terrible. I honestly feel like allowing Joe Biden to run as president, I feel like that's elder abuse, dude. I feel like it's pure elder abuse. It's just terrible.
Debate was a one-off in terms of his brain turning to mashed potatoes for the world to see. His cognitive decline was apparent for years, dating all the way back to the 2020 campaign to that point. And again, look, if she is going to lead a chant of 4 more years at the Waffle House like she did after that debate, while praising her husband for answering every question perfectly,
you did so
she
well.
was willing to put her husband, who clearly she was worried about, either having a...
Dude, she does not give 2 shits about her husband. If she did, she would never have let him run again. Period. End of story. If she actually gave a crap about her frickin' husband, she would have never let him run again. Joe Biden is an embarrassment. Jill Biden, in my opinion, is kind of evil. All right? She's terrible, dude. The only reason she wanted to be first lady was for the clout. It was all for the clout, bro. All for the clout, dude. Dude, Jill Biden's terrible, dude.
Stroke or going through this cognitive decline. She wanted him back in there until 2029 because she really, really wanted to be first lady. And
yeah, she loved the notoriety. She loved the fame that came with being the first lady. She loved it. She was addicted to it. She didn't care. She didn't give 2 shits about her husband at all. All she wanted was the notoriety, and it's in my opinion, all right? Magic Man says she's even worse. She's led the men into it. Yep. Mark Salmons is in the house. What up, Mark? Dude, go get you some La Rosa pizza. We got Mark Salmons in the house, everybody. Love you, Mr. Mark Salmons. We got our boy in the house. Ilo says Trump's had 4 cognitive tests. That speaks for itself. Trump's also has extreme internal medical issues. No, he doesn't. He doesn't have medical issues, dude. I doubt it. I think the left is trying to make... Here's the thing. You guys, you're projecting. I don't think Trump... he's older. Sure, he's probably got a few medical issues. Doesn't everybody when they're that old? But yeah, I think Trump's fine. Mark Salmon says could.
All the power and prestige that goes with that, and was willing to just basically allow her husband to be in the most stressful job in the world when clearly he needed to retire at that point. So
yeah, Joe Biden should have retired. There was no reason for Joe Biden to be president again. Zero fucking reason, dude. Freaking Jill Biden, dude. She's terrible. Like, I firmly believe she's just awful, dude. Yeah. I don't see Jill Biden as a good person. She's just not good, dude. Give me a few seconds, you guys. I'm looking at my portfolio real fast. Do you guys want to see how big my portfolio is? Oh, damn. Aries Capital's on a run. I love Aries Capital, dude. That's one of the BDCs that I invest into every now and then, just because I love the dividends. I love the dividends that you get from Aries Capital, though, dude. It's a fat dividend, man. It's a fat dividend, bro. I love it. Oh, actually, so Mark Sammons is saying how them returns on SATL. I don't know. I'll have to check. Remember, I created an entire penny stock portfolio based off of recommendations from. Oh hell, it's doing good. Satellogic's actually not doing bad. I probably should have bought a couple more shares than what I did, but yeah, it's looking really good, man. It's had a 165% gain. That's fucking crazy, dude. It's fucking insane. If you guys can, though, don't forget to double tap your screen to like the stream. We're a smaller channel, so we're trying to get as many likes as we can. So, like I said, make sure that you guys double tap your screen to like the stream. It really does help in more ways than one. So I do appreciate all your guys' efforts, and you guys are amazing. Thank you, guys. But yeah, double tap your screen to like the stream. It really does help quite a bit, and we love you guys for it as much as we do. We do. I love you guys. If you guys double tap your screen, man.
I can't imagine a worse spouse that you could think of in this country right now, but there's Jill Biden, and I can't imagine.
Jill Biden's terrible, dude. She is awful. Worst wife of all time. Like, Joe Biden was the worst president of all time, but Jill Biden has to be like the worst wife of all time, straight up. Like, she's bad, dude. She is bad. Mark Salmon says, if you were such a great investor, you were living in a shitty apartment in Ohio, just saying. Mark Salmons, feel free to do whatever you want, brother. Mark Salmons, feel free to do whatever you please, my brony bro. Do your thing, man. I love you, Mark. I love you, Mark. Do it. Mark Salmons, do it. Do what you got to do, bro. Do it. You said there's a location. Do it.
Any Democrat or Republican buying this book when it goes on sale next week, because it just shows that she is somebody who was only interested in her own power instead of the welfare of her husband, Carly.
And as you might imagine, Joe, quickly, Democrats not happy with this.
Dude, Jill Biden makes me sick, dude. She is terrible. Jill Biden is yuck. Dude, honestly, in my opinion, disgusting individual.
As I headed to midterms, they want the focus to be on all the issues they do not.
Like, dude, she is the worst. She is the worst wife of all time. I mean, obviously, Joe Biden is the worst president of all time, but she is the worst wife of all time, straight up.
Not want the focus to be on this, so they are not.
Yeah,
happy
one
with
Democrat
this,
operative said that they needed this news cycle, like somebody needs a hole in their head. So yeah, not happy to say the least. And you know, I feel like this is the First Lady trying to restore some of her own legacy in a way, and by continuously lying.
Yeah. Mark Salmon says, thanks for the long-term investment. Mark, what are you talking about, man? I love you, Mark, but I never know what your mood is going to be. I never know what your mood is going to be. What is your mood? I love you, bro, but what's your mood? And Mark, if you're having an existential crisis or something, let us know, dude. We'll try to help you out. I mean, we'll try to, work through it all together. We don't want to see anybody suffer, even if Mark Salmons doesn't agree with me wholeheartedly.
In sort of different ways, depending on what she's saying, it feels like she's only making things worse for herself. But, Joe, we also want to get to this because late-night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel took on Spencer Pratt in his L.A. mayoral campaign last night. Listen to what he had to say.
His profession is to be the screaming jerk on reality shows. Mayor should not be your first job. The mayor of L.A. is in charge of a $14 billion annual budget. Spencer Pratt is not the person who should be in charge of it.
Yeah, he should. Karen Bass clearly shouldn't, because Karen Bass has already flubbed her job a lot. Karen Bass, by the way, is one of the worst mayors of all time. One of the worst. She is terrible, dude. So Spencer Pratt, dude, if you guys think that Spencer Pratt deserves to win the LA mayoral race, double tap your screen if you guys think that Spencer Pratt's going to win the LA mayoral race. I think he is. I want to see how many people double tap their screens. If you believe that Spencer Pratt is going to win the LA mayoral race, double tap your screen to like the stream, okay? Let's go, bro.
You know, when I watch this, no shock that he's criticizing Spencer Pratt, and in a way, it's sort of good for Pratt because it's like clearly he's getting the attention that he.
Oh, dude, they're just giving him more attention. The more hate they throw his way, the more attention he's going to get, because people realize that LA is a shit show. They realize that Los Angeles is full of drug addicts and creeps. And there's a lot of people in LA who are just so done with the status quo of the liberals ruining everything about their city. They know that liberals have ruined their city. Straight up. And I think Spencer Pratt's going to win the LA mayoral race. If you guys agree with me, double tap your screens, baby. If you guys believe like I do that Spencer Pratt's winning the LA mayoral race, double tap your screen. Let's go, dude. I think he's gonna win, man. I wish I could vote for him. I wish I lived in I don't wish to live in Los Angeles because it is a hellhole. But if I did live in Los Angeles, I would absolutely 100% vote for him. I absolutely 100% would. Karen Bass is terrible. Nithya Raman is a total socialist and communist, just like Karen Bass allegedly. And yeah. But anyway, double tap your screen to like the stream. I appreciate it. You guys are amazing.
Needs to really potentially shake things up here.
Absolutely, Carly. And you watch these monologues and you don't laugh. I mean, that's kind of the point. That's what Jimmy Kimmel gets paid millions of dollars to do. Instead, it's these screeds.
Here's the thing, dude. Jimmy Kimmel is a chud to the establishment. He's basically a simp to the Democratic establishment. He's a simp. Jimmy Kimmel used to be a pimp, allegedly, but now he's a simp, allegedly. Allegedly. All right? I like to say allegedly.
Saying that, well, Spencer Pratt should be in charge of Los Angeles, so Karen Bass, who's at 25% approval, should. Kimmel lives in a gated community, by the way, multi-million-dollar mansion in Los Angeles. He's an elitist who's among those 17,000 people who saw their homes either badly damaged or burned to the ground during those wildfires months ago. And the fact that he is so reflexively anti-anyone who doesn't have a D next to their name shows he has no courage or moral compass. At least Bill Maher, who lives in Los Angeles, is willing to call Democrats like Karen Bass out. And Spencer Pratt is running on four very simple issues, guys. He wants people's homes to be rebuilt much faster than is happening now. He wants the homeless problem and that crisis, it's not even a problem, it's a crisis, to be addressed the right way. He wants all those addicted to drugs to get the help that they need. And he wants rampant fraud and abuse to cease to exist. And oh, by the way, he wants parks.
I love that the race is becoming a neck-and-neck contest, dude. I want to look at Kalshi real quick. I'm not a big fan of prediction markets because I think they're gambling. But I wonder if people are starting to realize Spencer Pratt's probably going to win this. Okay, Karen Bass is at 61%. Pratt's at 24%. 16% for Nithya Raman. Here's the thing, though. I think that this is more neck and neck than people realize. A lot of people voted for Bass early on when they did their predictions. So here's the thing. I think Spencer Pratt's going to be the dark horse. I mean, I think, here's the thing. Nobody likes Karen Bass. Every time I go on YouTube and I see a pro Karen Bass video, everybody is hating on her, saying that she's the worst thing since anything. I think that she's the Joe Biden of mayors. I really do. I think that Karen Bass is the Joe Biden of mayors. Mark Salmon says Kimmel's a paid clown. Absolutely he is. Adam Carolla hates Jimmy. Does. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is crazy. That's freaking wild, bro.
To have more kids playing in it again than needles to step on, as is the current situation now. Jimmy Kimmel, for whatever reason, has a big problem with that because he is for the status quo and he doesn't feel all these problems because of all the millions that Disney pays him to be shielded from that. It's really that simple. And to watch this show and these monologues to go on and on about Spencer Pratt, the guy is supposed to be an entertainer and give us escapism at 11:35 at night, and now he's just... It's a bad version of MSNBC meets CNN. It's really that simple.
Oh, yeah. Jimmy Kimmel, MSNBC. Jimmy MSNBC Kimmel. That's what we should call him. Jimmy MSNBC Kimmel. That's
Yeah, and the Los Angeles Times latest polling shows Karen Bass still in first, Nithya Raman in second, Spencer Pratt in third, all very close poll numbers. So this isn't over until it's over. We will soon find out what happens because the election's next week, but he is certainly sparking a lot of conversations that many people in LA feel like are desperately needed to be had. Joe, thank you so much for joining us.
Joe. Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube.
beautiful, dude. Beautiful. Regulatory revolution. Atkins promises a new direction at the SEC. Graduations are overrun with fights? Really? People fighting at graduation time?
Graduation ceremonies are suddenly the most exciting ticket in town.
This is great. WWE graduation.
That's right. If you're lucky, your graduation ceremony might just turn into a WWE match.
Bridgeport.
This is crazy.
Police didn't say why it started, but authorities claim it involved at least 2 unrelated families. 2 of the 3 people arrested were charged with assault of a public safety officer.
Dude, come on.
This is fucking crazy. In this video, you see several people running, throwing punches, including someone in a cap and gown.
What is going on in the world, you guys? What is going on with the world? We're all fucked. We're all screwed. We're screwed. What is happening? Clean your room.
This graduation is out of control. Parents and friends in the stand say they tried waiting out the commotion. Many wanted to see their senior cross the stage. But some parents told me despite having security at the graduation, they...
Do you think social media is screwing us up? No, here's the thing. I don't think social media... I actually do. So here's the thing. I think TikTok is killing our attention span. I think that social media in general should be used minimally. And if you're going to use social media, try not to use it on your phone. Just use it on a web browser, on a computer. Be old school about it, you know?
Did not...
Also, double tap your screen to like the stream. One more time. Double tap your screen to like the stream.
Feel safe sticking around. In this video, you see graduates leaving during the ceremony.
Hey, run that shit back.
Laugh out loud. MAGA dance on Trump's poll. Absolute losers.
Hey, dude. Thank you, Josh. Everybody give a shout out to Josh Aaron 1639. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm going to actually reply to that because I appreciate you. I love Daddy. He makes me feel safe and loved. So, yeah. Thank you, though, for that super chat, though, Mr. Josh Aaron. Appreciate you, my brony bro. Everybody give a shout out to Josh Aaron, everybody. Anybody who wants to send a super chat, by the way, it will get highlighted on the screen because I love you guys. I care about you guys. I want to make sure you guys get your time in the sun. And, yeah, so any super chats you want to send, man, you'll get highlighted and you'll get love. Also, gifts show up on the screen instantly, which is really dope, so keep going.
I don't know. They fight. Oh my God, bro! Like, you're not.
Oh my God.
This was sent to us from a viewer. In the video, you can actually see.
Hey, we're almost 100 likes, by the way. Double tap your screen to help us get to 100 likes. We're only 6 likes away from getting 100, so double tap your screen to like the stream. If you guys love JD Vance as much as I do, double tap your screen. If you guys think Donald Trump's the greatest president of all time, or at least in the top 3, double tap your screen. Let's go.
See people getting escorted out after the brawl. Right now, there's no word on what caused the commotion.
6'7", 6'7", 6'7". Oh my God. Dude, this is like straight up WWE shit, dude. Are we watching a WWE match? This is the WWE, dude. This is the world we live in, bro. This is the world we live in.
A day of celebration turns into chaos at the Siegel Center after a fight breaks out during John Marshall.
Hold on, I actually got to make some water, and then I'm gonna boil some boil water. Okay. If you want to be my bronies, you got to get with my brones. Making last forever, friendship never end. If you want to be my lover, you have got to give.
High School's graduation.
We were able to finish the graduation ceremony as planned.
I know what you're thinking. Why is this guy's hair Smurf blue?
What the fuck? Is he woke?
I was ready to go off on this guy myself, but it turns out he does this for a good reason.
100% of the members of the senior class at John Marshall High School is receiving a diploma this year. Earlier this year, Superintendent Cameras promised that if students hit that milestone, he would dye his hair blue. And
Okay, that's kind of cool. I get that.
you can see he kept that promise, as you can see in this video posted on social media by Richmond Public Schools.
Well, I don't know. After seeing this, maybe the 100% graduation rate is due to a lower bar? Regardless,
Yeah.
best of luck at the graduation
Now I'm starting to wonder, man. I'm starting to
ceremony
wonder.
you have to go to.
Fucking A, man. All right, let's keep going. Hey, thank you guys. We're only one like away from getting 100 likes, so double tap your screen to like the stream. The more likes we get, the better. Thank you guys. I appreciate everybody for the likes, the subscribes, the gifts. Thank you guys for tapping the gift button, by the way. Honestly, it really does help the channel grow in more ways than one. So we're at 10,668 subs. Once again, we're at 10,668 subs. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner, as it does help the channel grow. Let's take a look. Let's take a listen and see what else we're missing out on.
Trying to carry the flop narrative, but this is
What, is this a flop, really, people?
It's
Really?
pretty obvious.
Oh, come on, people.
Trying to carry the flop narrative, but this is
What, is this a flop, really, people?
Dude, I'm so proud of him for Carter Bryant for doing that, dude. Make the fouls worth it, yep. Yeah, it's funny. That's how they should foul SGA. They're going to get called for it anyway. Might as well make sure he feels the foul. Exactly, dude. Flopping is a real problem in the NBA, and honestly, the refs have enabled it far too often. If you see a player flop and they're trying to oversell it, if they're trying to oversell the call, don't even call it a foul. If you're trying to oversell the call, it's not... Wait, what? The serious benefits of retard. Oh my god.
Are you threatened by the retard maxing movement? Have you heard about this?
That's a great question.
Dude.
That's a great
I am kind of curious about this. This is funny.
That's a good
He looks
question.
right at me. Yeah. Yes.
Do you
Let me answer that the way I think you intended it. Yes, I am personally offended.
Threatened.
Wait,
Do you wake up
You
and are
threatened
you
by
like,
the retard
I'm
maxing.
retard maxing today? Like, is that what you think?
All right,
What is
listen.
retard maxing?
All right.
dude.
All right.
It's awesome.
No, I actually. What is this?
I heard of look maxing.
Yeah.
There's
What's
looks
ret-
maxing, then there's a guy who does what's called retard maxing,
I
which
love
was popularized by, of all people, Mark Andreessen, who's easily one of the smartest people I've ever met. Know Mark real well. He's a big fan of retard maxing. Retard maxing is this guy on the internet who what you want to explain?
Oh, I'm loving
Yeah,
this.
it's-
So, you know, with all the stuff about get up in the morning and, you know, do this and do that. And, you know,
Don't be
when you
retarded.
have a problem or all the kind of stuff that, you know, Chris covers, you know, like about emerging dynamics of male-female relationships and self-perception and philosophy. And he interviews like, you know, real thinkers, and they have British accents and that kind of thing. This guy sits in his backyard, is basically a farm, and he does this thing.
Oh, I know this guy. I know who they're talking about. I've seen this guy's videos. I love it.
He calls retard maxing, which is where you basically just don't think about shit at all. You just do what needs to be done. If something bothers you, you just ignore it.
Wait, is this the CEO that is like, I don't self-reflect?
that was
So
Andreessen.
Mark Andreessen came on the David Senra. Yeah, so Mark Andreessen started Netscape.
Right.
And now he has A16Z, which is one of the, you know, biggest investment firms in the Bay Area and all over the world, frankly. And he came on the David Senra podcast, which is the guy who also does the Founders podcast. David Senra podcast, incidentally, put out by SciComm. We loved the Founders
Shout out
podcast.
Senra, friend
So
of
we
the show.
brought Senra
Shout
over,
out.
and he
Hello.
brought Mark
Yeah.
Andreessen on. And Mark Andreessen said, he used the words, these are not my words. He said, great men of history did not sit around thinking about their thoughts and introspecting. You know, like introspection is not what we need to be doing. We need more action, less introspection.
Yeah.
Actually, Dana White.
I like that. I think it's good to be. I think it's good to be both. I think it's good to be introspective and take action. I think you could do both. But you should take a lot of action though. Like, it's good to think, it's good to plan, but sometimes you get stuck in the planning phase if you stay in the planning phase and the thinking phase too long about things, and you don't really get anything done. So the goal is try to get things done as quickly as you can, take as much action as you can. Action, action, action. So I completely see where they're coming from on this. Hold on, sorry, you guys. But yeah, I completely see where they're coming from on it. It makes it makes a lot of sense to me overall.
White kind of doubled down
I've
on
watched
this recently,
the clip.
saying that he's not he is not a fan of men talking about their emotional challenges publicly. You know, that it's like, get up, go to war, make money for your family. You know, sort of the old school kind of stoicism thing. So the Mark Andreessen thing mobilized a big discussion online, on X in particular. One sort of angle of attack that he opened was, all right, here's a billionaire who doesn't like introspection, and, you know, and I know Mark very well. He's not a sociopath. He's a very, very kind person. I know his family. He's an incredible human being at many levels. I'm going to catch a lot of shit for saying that, but that's the truth. If you actually know him. All right.
And now
To know him.
Now,
Just to love him.
he then made a
Try.
plug for retard maxing. He was like, hey, there's this guy on the internet who basically doesn't say shit at all. He just says, just handle your business, do what you need to do, and stop thinking about things so much. Don't ruminate so
Yeah, you could think about things. Look, there's nothing wrong with thinking about things. I think the problem is we live in a society where we tend to overthink and then we procrastinate. I say think for a moment, but try to take as much action as you can after the thought has come about. Even if you have to start writing. Writing is a form of action. I love writing. I'm a big writer. Not a good writer by any means, but I like to write. I'm not writing for anybody else but me. You gotta be a little selfish sometimes. You gotta be a little selfish from time to time too. I believe in that.
so much. And he said he was a big fan of this retard maxing, so building
Yeah,
off
it's
looks
great.
maxing. And then that caught some momentum.
Uh-huh.
And so
Oh,
now the
yeah.
big thing is introspection. Like, should we introspect? Should we think about and reflect on who we are and what's challenging us?
I mean,
and Dana was basically saying, hey, listen, I think the point Dana was trying to make was that men's mental health, while critical, right? Suicide rates are way up.
Yeah.
Like, we all acknowledge that. He made a very good point, which is oftentimes getting into action and doing things as opposed to being online and thinking about your problems, and rumination is a very dangerous place to be.
Yeah,
You know,
think
so
there's-
he said, get up and work and provide for your family. But when he and Mark said these things, it came across as a little bit dismissive of the idea that emotions are relevant. And I do think, they have a point in the sense that I think we need to balance out some of what we've been hearing a lot of over the last few years.
Sure.
Which is that we need to think about every aspect of self, every aspect, too much therapy is not good.
Yeah, I think I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think we live in a therapy culture, and it really bugs me. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with going to therapy to deal with, maybe a traumatic event happened in your life. That's fine. That makes perfect sense to me. But we think that therapy is the answer to everything, and it's so fucking frustrating. I'll give you an example. My ex-friend Billy goes to therapy a lot. I wouldn't say a lot, but he does. His therapist actually hates his ass. His therapist hates him. And granted, I can't say that I blame the therapist, because he can be a real sociopathic piece of shit from time to time. And because of that, I totally get why the therapist yells at him. Makes perfect sense to me. Because he acts like a total douchebag. But anyway, it's just my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, if you spend your time just thinking and
his therapist has legitimately yelled at him because she just couldn't handle it. E.T. says Billy the Bully's. No, dude, I care about him, but I gotta call a spade a spade. He just pissed me off too much. He was being a total dick. But yeah, no, I don't mind therapy. I think occasional therapy isn't a bad thing, but we use a therapist as a crutch. And to be honest, that's pretty bad, dude. Well, dude, honestly, to be honest, though, I can't say that I blame the therapist. Because Billy can, honestly, there's also, professionalism goes both ways, though. Professionalism goes both ways. If he's going to be he's a client, and if he's a client of that therapist, and he's being a total piece of shit to the therapist, I think, has every right to defend herself verbally and say, you're a fucking loser. Yeah, she should. I honestly take the side of the therapist on that one. It makes perfect sense why the therapist would yell at him. Perfect sense. Because he doesn't realize how much of a piece of shit he can be. Oh, I think he does. But the thing is, I don't think he thinks he should be called out for it. And yeah.
Not doing. So, because it feels like that's kind of the note behind the note, right? Is if you just sit and introspect and think, and you just sit in I feel this way, and you never actually take action, then you're just literally not doing anything.
Oh, also, double tap the screen if you guys can. Double tap the screen to like the stream. The more likes we get, the better. But yeah, double tap your screen to like the stream. Once again, double tap your screen. It does help us on the YouTube algorithm quite a bit. But yeah, double tap your screen to like the stream. Really helps us out big time. You guys are amazing. Amazing.
Yep. But I think there's kind of levels to I think it's good to be introspective to a degree, check in with yourself, express how you feel, but don't just sit there and say, this is how I feel, and then don't do anything.
Yeah. I mean, there's a kind of a larger, perhaps.
No, I say you got it. Okay, figure out who you are, what you want to do, write down your goals, go after your goals. Learn what you got to learn. But being goal-oriented does help. I like to say goal maxing, dude. I say be obsessed with writing goals down. Be obsessed with taking action. Do what
Deeper discussion around to what and Mark Andreessen has said this as well. people who've tended to accomplish a lot of great things oftentimes have some pretty rough edges.
Yeah.
I grew up in the town where Steve Jobs was around. He used to come in and get rollerblade wheels at the skateboard shop where I worked. And like, he was kind of a rough edge guy. And he didn't wear shoes. And, you know, and he wanted what he wanted. He wanted it. Then he was known for yelling at people. He would drive 95 miles, like you, this guy. Yeah. Likes to drive fast. You know, he got.
Steve Jobs was absolutely a piece of shit, though. Like, he was a great marketer. But honestly, one of the biggest piece of shits you could ever imagine.
You know, and so there was this time up until.
I would not work for Steve Jobs only because he sucks ass. Only because he sucked ass. Like, and I will admit, while Steve Jobs was a great marketer, he was a visionary, but I'm not going to lie. The architect behind the vision was fucking Steve Wozniak. Steve Wozniak was the real GOAT. He deserves all the credit. Steve Jobs, granted, he had a vision, he had an idea, but Wozniak made it happen.
Phones with cameras. Thank you, Steve Jobs. There was this time up until phones with cameras where.
Thank you, Wozniak. Don't forget, while Steve Jobs had the idea, he had the vision, Wozniak made that vision happen.
Where people were kind of celebrated for being big personalities with some rough edges, but for the great things that they did. Now there's a movement largely from the left of like, hey, you know, everything needs to be rather tempered, right? You can't be a big personality unless you're perfect in every dimension. And if you look, I mean, historically, you look at any public figure now, like you're going to find, as you said, there's that dark and
God, I hate the left. I hate the left so much.
light. And Mark's whole thing is those things go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Like great CEOs oftentimes have some strong disagreeableness. They rate high in disagreeableness. They're conscientious.
Oh, I'm very high in disagreeableness. You know, it's weird. You know, it's funny. I read about these CEOs, and I'm not going to lie. These founders, I mean, I do have a certain, I don't know, I have a certain, they feel relatable to me. Because I'm a disagreeable guy. I'm very high in disagreeableness. I'm not an agreeable. Anyway, this is kind of boring. Ooh, a CNN panel. Can a Republican win in California? Let's watch.
Joining me now here live in studio is Caroline Heldman, Democratic strategist, professor of critical theory and social justice at Occidental College, and Lanhee Chen, former policy director for Mitt Romney.
I think Spencer Pratt can actually win in California. I think that there is a chance. Jake05131 says, Garza, what's up, Mr. Jake? It's your move, homie. Oh. Okay, hold on. Let me take a look here. It's my move. Oh, hold on. Maybe Oh, shit. Yeah, it is my move. Hold on. Oh. Oh, I just figured out a good move. Maybe. Hold on. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. So if I do that, good. No, that's not a good move. Hold on. Crap. Ooh, man, I think Jake's got me. I think Jake's got me on the move, by the way. That's funny though, dude. Yeah, Jake caught me on stream, man. Let's see here. No, it's all good, man. I'm not gonna reveal all my moves. I mean, I could do that. Could go that route. I guess the question I got to ask myself is no move the best move? That is the question. I got to figure out a move real quick against my boy Jake. I could. Okay, I'm taking an interesting chance here. I'm going to do it. I feel like this sequence of moves works in my favor. It's going to put me down a little bit, but it is, in my opinion, the best sequence of moves that I could think of.
Former candidate for controller.
I think, here's the thing. I think Spencer Pratt's going to win, man. Yeah, I don't know. I think Spencer Pratt's going to win this, man.
California, who did better than any Republican candidate in California in many, many years. Caroline, Lanhi, welcome. Good to see both of you in the House. Let's talk about sort of where we see this mayor's race, Caroline. This is the first real polling that we've seen in a while, and it is tight.
It's not looking good for the incumbent Karen Bass, although it's pretty clear she'll...
I think it's pretty clear that Karen Bass is going to lose. I think it's pretty obvious that nobody likes Karen Bass. Go online. I'm pretty sure people in L.A. are just as resentful of her as well. The Palisades fire ruined her political career, in my opinion. I think it did. Hold on. Taking a big risk. Uh-oh. All right, we're taking the risk. We're taking a chance. I'm taking a big risk.
Probably advance to the general election, and
Not necessarily, though. I mean, you see how close that thing is. Yeah.
We'll see, right?
Yeah,
And
most
you're
likely.
right.
The conventional wisdom certainly supports that.
You're right. I mean, it's a horse
Yeah.
race three ways, right? Nithya Raman is pulling on the left, and Spencer Pratt is pulling on the right. 10% of voters are undecided in Los Angeles. I don't know how that's possible, given that it's this close.
Or maybe they don't like their three choices, and so they're waiting.
Clear.
It's possible. I think a lot of people aren't even going to show up to vote for Bass. They probably resent her so much, like straight up.
For something to pop.
It is clear that Karen Bass, is not popping like an incumbent should pop, right? And it mostly has.
Nobody wants her to win, dude. Nobody wants Karen Bass. I mean, and some people do, and these are the people who will vote blue no matter who because they're dumb. But that's okay. They have every right to be dumb.
Has to do with her response to the Palisades fire, a bit to the issue of homelessness. But if you look in poll after poll, about half of Los Angeles voters think that Karen Bass did a terrible job, and
she did. She absolutely did a terrible job, and I think that most people with an ounce of sanity will at least be able to admit that she did a terrible job. I would like to believe that people have this ability, but we'll see. We'll see.
Something that has legs even a year later, her response to the Palisades fire, and of course that's what Spencer Pratt is running on.
And yet, she's got a lot of endorsements. Gavin Newsom is behind her. Alex Padilla is behind her.
Yeah, it's
Most
crazy.
of the Democrats on the city council, even the Democratic Socialists on the city council are behind her and not behind Nithya Raman. And she's got a lot of infrastructure support. And in a place like Los Angeles, historically, Lonnie, that's been very helpful.
Yeah, I mean, infrastructure matters a lot. A city as big as LA, as hard as it is to reach voters, it's expensive. And remember, there are campaign financing limits that are a lot lower in the city of LA than there are statewide and other parts.
And it's so funny, Spencer Pratt, all he had to do was basically just make some fucking AI ads. That's all he did, dude. He's kicking ass, dude. Spencer Pratt for LA. LA mayor, dude. I love it, dude. Spencer Pratt in LA, dude.
Of state of California. And so I do think
the Democrats are clearly getting nervous because they're forced to talk about this. They're like, oh my God. Spencer Pratt might win. Hell yeah. Which I'm totally down for, by the way. Absolutely 100% down for. I hope Spencer Pratt wins, dude. I so hope he wins.
That being an incumbent is a natural advantage. The problem is she's been a bad incumbent. And so you're seeing a lot of
Yeah, she's been a very crappy mayor, and people see through it. I'm actually surprised. I actually have some faith in Los Angeles for once. By the way, make sure you guys tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow. Once again, please tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner, as it does help the channel grow. More subscribers we get, the better. It really does help. So please subscribe. Let's go. We're at 10,670.
Incumbent energy, that's really what's fueling Spencer Pratt. It's what's fueling Rahman. There may be some consolidation of that vote in the next couple of days. You got a couple of other stray cats and dogs that are sucking up maybe 15 percentage points or so. So you might see a little more consolidation, I think, around that anti-Bass vote. So I'm not exactly sure that she's a shoo-in to make it through to that top two. And then we would have a truly open race, which would be fascinating.
It really would. And some of the fascinating part of the last few weeks has been trying to figure out who is Spencer Pratt and how would he govern? Because we have no examples to look at in terms of that. That was part of our conversation with him, was trying to get a sense of who he is, who are his role models, what does he think. Some folks have looked back at old tape from back in 2009 when he was on the Alex Jones show. And back then, he was the reality show villain from The Hills. And he expressed some support for Alex Jones, who was talking about 9/11 being an inside job.
Alex Jones is the man, dude. I don't care what anybody says. Alex Jones is the man.
Jake Tapper pressed him on that, asked him, do you regret that? Do you still think that now? Here's what he said.
Regret? Of course I have 20 years of regret. I've talked about how many regrets, but that doesn't connect to my mission now. Once you lose everything, once your parents lose everything, once your neighbors lose everything, you become a new person. The person I am now is very different than the person before January 7th.
What do you make of that just from a strategist perspective? Is that a good answer to a sort of bad, hard question?
Well, I think it's an honest answer, and I do actually think it plays well. We love the
I would not, dude, I would be like, yeah, I was on Alex Jones's show, and Alex Jones is the man, dude. That's what I would have said. I would have been like, yeah, I was on Alex Jones's show, and I ain't going to apologize for shit. Hell yeah, dude. Alex Mother effing Jones, dude.
This sort of evolution story, right? And Spencer Pratt has been a surprisingly strong candidate. Now, can a Republican win in Los Angeles? Probably not. But Spencer Pratt has this great online presence. At debates, he's actually much stronger than anyone anticipated he would be. He has a good purchase on policy issues. And then his narrative about his experience with the Palisades fire really does hit, let's assume, or if it's Karen Bass moves to the general election, he will give her a run for her money in a way that I don't think a lot of folks thought would happen.
And the other thing, Lonnie, that it would be tough to run against Spencer Pratt is his mastery of social media and his online army with their AI and everything else that's going on is.
It's just like my followers, dude. You guys love making AI photos of me. Those AI photos of Spencer Pratt and me, dude. That was amazing. That was truly amazing. Honestly, I loved it. You guys are so cool. I love you guys.
Not something somebody like Karen Bass, who's been in politics for decades, has ever experienced. And that is a lot coming at you.
It is, and I will say few candidates have managed to capture that magic in a bottle the way that Spencer Pratt has. The question is, how does that translate into votes, right? It's one thing to have a lot of social media presence. We really have to see in this era, how do you get that to actually motivate the people you need to vote, who live in Los Angeles, right? You might motivate people who live in other states. They might look at that and say, well, that's great. Look, someone's running for mayor of LA who actually wants to change things. But they don't vote in Los Angeles, right? And so that's really going to be the question. Can you translate that into actual votes?
And last night here on The Story, as we had Paul Mitchell, who is the #1 data guy in tracking who's returning ballots, and he said, so far, the kinds of people that would be motivated by that are not turning in their ballots, at least so far. We'll see. They have a few more days to turn them in. You know what it's like to run statewide as a Republican in California.
It's not easy.
You did better than any Republican has in many years, but you lost by about 9 points, right? Instead of losing by about 25 points, which is what a lot of other people lose. In our next hour, we're talking to Steve Hilton, who's running for governor of California. I know we had a new poll.
But I think, here's the thing. I think Californians want to change. They realize that the left-wing politics, it's not working. Also, the left is falling out of favor. Their approval ratings are in the toilet. People don't like the left. I know that people are like, what about Donald Trump's approval ratings? So what? The left, you know, for all the things that people criticize Trump about, you could also criticize the left so much more.
In that race that showed basically that Javier Becerra, the HHS secretary, seems to be ahead.
Grow up.
At 23%, Steve Hilton at 20%. The
YOLO
Republican top two
to the
advance
Rolo.
regardless of party. Tom Steyer behind at 15%. Those seem to be the three at the top. We'll see what happens. Is it possible? Is there the math right now, given the electorate, for a Republican to win in California?
I think people are done with Gavin Newsom. Here's the thing. I think there are more people who are upset with Gavin Newsom than anything. I think they're tired of him. I think people would rather have a Republican, to be honest. I love my tortillas, man.
I think that there is the math for someone who wants to reform what's happening in the state. That's something I learned when I ran, is that there are a lot of people who are frustrated with the status quo. Javier Becerra is about as much of a status quo candidate as you're going to get. He has not articulated really what he wants to do that's any different from what's happening now. How is he going to change and improve the state? One thing I will give Steve a lot of credit for, you'll have him on later, he's actually put out a bunch of ideas. You can agree with them, you can disagree with them. He's put out a bunch of ideas to change the status quo. That's what we need in the state. So what I learned is if you're able to apply the resources against a message that says we've got to change the status quo and here's how, people respond. We saw great progress in places like Santa Barbara County, San Luis Obispo County that had not voted for a Republican in decades. It was because of that message that things were not working well, and I think that's the kind of message that can succeed in California.
But is that enough of a message to get 10 points more than you got?
It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, but I think we have to acknowledge that no trend lasts forever. And while it's the case that Republicans have not been able to be competitive in California in a while, and this cycle is going to be tough given the broader macro environment as well, I think it's the right message to say things are not working well, we've got to change them.
How do you see the governor's race?
Yeah. Gavin Newsom. I think people are pissed. If a Republican won in California, that would be extremely huge. It would be a message to the Democrats saying, you're not working. You don't work. The Democrat way doesn't work. You guys are the party of the socialists, and nobody likes socialism. Period. End of story. Give me a moment. But yeah, I think I would love to see a Republican win in California. I think that'd be great.
And this real battle at the top of the Democratic Party right now, but seems to be between Becerra and Steyer going into the final days?
Well, the latest polls are showing that Becerra is really pulling out front, and I think he's a safe candidate. And I would humbly disagree with Lonnie. I think that this is a Democratic state, and especially in the era of Trump, with so much animosity toward the Republican Party and party division in the country, that Californians are.
I think people hate the Democrat Party in California more than you realize. I think Spencer Pratt has gained enough ground to where I think he's going to win it.
In their heels even deeper. And honestly, if someone like Lonnie Chen couldn't get elected to statewide office, what hope does a Republican have in this state? I do.
Hey, things change. Things change. And we're going to see. I think Gavin Newsom's screwed.
See it as being a Becerra Hilton. At least the polling, is showing a clear gap now that we haven't seen at any other point in this race.
And you think people want a safe choice?
I think people are choosing this safe choice. I think a lot of factors came into play.
I don't think choosing a Democrat's a safe choice. I think that's the opposite of a safe choice, because Democrats have proven that they are incompetent and they don't handle power very well. So I would say voting a Democrat in is actually not the safe choice at all. It's not. It just never can be.
I think Swalwell would have taken it, but his departure, obviously over allegations of sexual violence, really shifted the race. The fact that Kamala Harris didn't decide to run, goodness knows why. She needed to build political capital after that loss, but okay. She makes that decision late, and then we have all of these candidates, flooding in. And I think that once Swalwell got out and Becerra started rising, all of these other candidates said, hey, maybe we can do that too. But at this late stage, it does look like it's going to be Hilton Becerra heading into the general.
Are you suggesting that Kamala Harris's political instincts might not be the best?
I am suggesting that, whoever gave her advice on that. Woo.
We've seen better.
She's pretty bad. Kamala Harris is rough, dude. I'm going to brush my teeth real quick. Hold on. All right. Yeah, I'm here. Let's do this, yeah. Okay, we're back.
She should be running. She would have won.
Yeah, she probably would have won. Caroline Heldman, Lonnie Chen, thank you both. Great to see both of you.
Thanks.
Go ahead.
All right, dude. Let's see what we got. Matt McCusker teaches Andrew Hoover. Okay, I'm curious about this.
If I stay in hotels for a weekend and don't look at porn, I feel like I'm a saint. I leave and like they should literally just like canonize.
You the one that you pay for? Like there's
no,
like
I'm just on your phone. I'm
Yeah.
saying because it's like you're just isolated in this bunker. You get off stage, you're like I'm wired.
Yeah.
You're like I need to go to bed. I know exactly how I can fall asleep right now.
Yeah.
And you go like, no, I'm not gonna. I'll do it like
Fap naps, dude. This is great. Hold on.
4% of the time, and I'm just like, man, they're gonna canonize me after. It's impossible.
Sounds like you're open about this with your wife. Otherwise, she just knows about it now.
I've talked to her about it, and now I'm off it. I'm off the porn. But I ask for her help.
How was that? How was the transition off the porn?
Dude, it's way better because now I'm 40. I swear to God, once you're 40, it's like 20s. You can have like infinite boners. You can be watching porn. You can do this. Now, like I need to be ready. If I'm fapped out, and the wife and I get the big call from, I'm like, no. So now I'm just always I stay ready at all times. I'm like, just let me know.
5 big $2
No, I'm just
Yeah, that's it, dude.
I'm just kidding.
I'm going to try that as well. But
Is that one of the life hacks that comedians know that the health experts haven't cottoned on to? That if you've just done a high stimulation activity, that just a fat before bed is
that's universal now. It's got to be universal knowledge.
I haven't heard that on the Huberman Lab podcast.
Fat before sleep. It's called a fat nap. Never heard of a fat nap?
Fap nap. That's pretty good. That is pretty funny, though, dude. Holy crap, man.
I've never heard.
We've been doing this for generations.
My daddy was a fat napper, and his daddy before him.
Well, the thing is, like every comic, probably every performer, like music or otherwise, but certainly for comedian, like the adrenaline spike you getting off stage, like usually like somebody, different people get into something. Like there's the guys that go just drink their faces off or do drugs or like eating or go out all night or jerk off. Like somebody, like you have this rush after, and it's like the night's over. Like you just like go back.
No girlfriends or wives on tour? I mean, girlfriend or wife on tour?
No, I mean.
You are really Freudian slipping your way through this podcast.
I mean, I have one girlfriend.
Well,
She's awesome, like I said. You know, I'm addressing the audience.
Can you
but I'm not a live, I'm also not a live show guy. When I finish a podcast, like a solo episode of my podcast, I want to collapse, man.
Can you explain what's happening neurologically, biochemically when the being on stage, high stimulus, a lot of focus, a lot of adrenaline, positive feedback, and then what is that? What's going on?
I mean, in a word, arousal, right? I mean, the catecholamines, dopamine, norepinephrine, and epinephrine. The catecholamines, this little kit of chemicals that are made in our brain and body, right? Different ones, different places, et cetera. We don't have to get into that. But that cocktail is what's released under high arousal situations. Some are scary situations, some are exciting, but when you're a performer and you get that feedback, then yeah, you got a lot of dopamine, norepinephrine, and epinephrine, so you're alert.
Well, that's pretty educational. But we're gonna watch something else though. Hold on. Let's see what else we could watch. Let's see, what do we got here? Geez, a bus crash in Virginia, Jesus. Oh. Well, I'm kind of curious to see what happens, man. This is crazy. Oh, a mountain lion? Yeah. Well, Oh, this is interesting. Trump's nuclear agenda. Let's take a listen.
Welcome back. Nuclear power has been hot, and nuclear power company Oklo is up about 23% over the last year. It was selected by the Department of Energy to further discuss the federal surplus plutonium utilization program. It aims to make Cold War-era plutonium available for use as nuclear reactor fuel. Joining me now in a Fox Business exclusive is the Oklo co-CEO, Jake DeWitt. Jake, great to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. So I know that President Trump's agenda has all hands on deck, but nuclear is just as important as anything else. Tell us what's going on in terms of nuclear growth and what you're doing at Oklo.
Yeah, it's a very exciting time for a couple of reasons. First of all, you have this confluence of growing energy demand driven by reindustrialization, electrification, AI, obviously, which gets all the headlines, combined with this huge push and innovation in nuclear about bringing forward this technology that's been sort of static and stagnant for a long time. Couple that with support from the capital markets and then this policy agenda that's unlocking nuclear. We're going to see this sort of era of nuclear flourishing come about where companies like ours are able to go and build more quickly than people have thought before. Well,
oh, this is kind of cool, man. No, I'm interested to see, like, you know, nuclear power plants making a bit of a comeback. You know, especially since they're going to be using allegedly, as far as I know, nuclear power plants for like powering AI data centers. That would be very interesting. Because AI data centers, they need a lot of electricity. So I mean, if you're gonna best way to generate it would be having a nuclear reactor on standby.
Also solving the bottlenecks like fuel supplies. This plutonium program is a perfect example as a bridge fuel to help us build more reactors sooner and then scale from there.
So what do you need to do to scale up then?
So we got to engineer and execute, obviously. We got to build. We got to work through the permitting process in an iterative fashion. And then we have to build out the infrastructure to build. That sounds funny, but it's not just about construction. It's also about getting the parts you need into the reactor, specifically fuel. We as a country have lapsed our ability to make fuel for nuclear reactors, especially advanced nuclear reactors, for decades now. Back in the 80s, we had more capacity than the rest of the world combined. And today we have so little. So now we're unlocking.
It will be interesting, man. Uh-oh, I might lose this game. Crap. Yeah, I don't think I have a shot to win that game. That's not
all these different vehicles to do so, including excess government materials that we're otherwise going to spend a lot of taxpayer money to just bury, but can actually be used as a bridge fuel to build more reactors sooner. That means more power plants online sooner, which means you start to compound that growth faster.
And you've been doing deals in terms of you've got a deal with the Department of Energy. You kicked off 2026 with a deal with Meta. Tell us how you see that in terms of these partnerships that you've been announcing.
One of the great things about today with nuclear is you have customers who need the power existentially for one of the most important things in human history, AI. And Meta is a great flagship example of finding a partnership and a customer to build power plants to meet their needs where there's a huge amount of growth in the Ohio market. And that's just a start. But on top of that, we're partnering with the government to utilize their unique resources and using AI included in that to help us design reactors more quickly, help us drive through the learning processes more quickly. One of the things that's really exciting on the agentic kind of AI workflows, it's an extension of engineers to do more, more quickly, more efficiently. And that helps us actually scale into these opportunities like in kind of a pace that was unthought of before.
Well, I mean, look, this major partnership with Meta allows you to shore up the money that you need for this, right? So tell us more about that, because you're talking about developing up to 1.2 gigawatts of clean nuclear power in southern Ohio. And
it's not bad.
What is Meta's role?
So Ohio is one of the most exciting places for data center growth, and they have a huge amount of infrastructure to support it, but we need to bring on the power to do this. And Meta saw this as, hey, we should bring in additional power, because that helps with power prices. This is super important. But also it's a way that they can play a really important catalyzing role to bring these new generation technologies like ours forward. And so we've been working to site in Ohio and develop, a couple different locations there for some time. Saw a great opportunity to build our first sort of larger scale campus there and then sell the power to them, but through and on the grid, which helps alleviate pressure on the grid. And that is important because then you find your first customers to then scale with and then grow from. And this is just the tip of the iceberg.
And this is going to create jobs, right? How many jobs? Thousands of jobs? What would you say in terms of long-term investment and this Ohio facility? What does that mean for jobs?
I mean, in the first...
I think it'll be a big deal. Look, I think there's going to be, people at the power plant. I think it's going to be an interesting, it's very fascinating. I like to see, I don't know, people are very hesitant about AI data centers. I get it. I don't agree necessarily, but I do understand people's concern. I understand that not everybody's as in love with AI as much as I am, but we got my boy Frog Eat Frog in the house. What's going on, my brony? How you doing, dude? Everybody give a round of applause to Frog Eat Frog. Woo.
First kind of big phase, we talked about the 1.2 gigawatts. It's the high hundreds of jobs. But then scaling beyond that, because we expect this to grow quite a bit, you are talking about thousands of jobs. Not to mention the derivative effects beyond that. But another really cool thing, we are excited to be working with some of the fuel providers to help us with the long-term fuel, sort of to refuel these plants. And one of the big producers is right next to us in Southern Ohio. So it's a compounding benefit down there to sort of support that economy and what the producers of the fuel are doing with what we're doing on the power side. It has a pretty strong halo effect.
Look, I think it's a great idea, but the truth is you've got competitors all over the place now in terms of nuclear. So what do you want to say about the competitive landscape out there right now when you've got other companies that may be ahead of you in this same race?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think this is the thing is we've kind of proven out a pace of execution that's great, and we've also got sort of a unique positioning in the markets as well as with the customer offtakes.
Yeah.
And we're solving all the things you need to solve. We're not deferring those because our business model is a little bit different. When we started this company, it wasn't about just designing reactors and trying to sell the designs. That's the sort of old playbook. What we said was, hey, what do customers really want here? They don't want to buy reactors. They want to buy power. So how do we make it easy for them to buy what they want? Well, we design, we build, we own, we operate, we sell the power.
Actually,
That
I
gives
think
us a
I
huge
already
advantage
own.
in terms of how we can interact.
Hold on, I think I already own Oklo, if I remember right. I think Oklo is actually one of the companies I own. Hold on. Oklo, do I own them? I don't. That is shocking. I thought I did. I mean, they seem like a pretty decent company overall. Earnings are all right. No, their earnings are kind of eh. Here's the thing, though. So what do they do mainly? Like an energy company? Fission reactors that provides clean energy through the design. I mean, admittedly, if they're going to do a deal with Meta, it's kind of huge. Crazy, man. Oh, looks like certain things are down. Let's see what's down for the day. All right. Let's keep reacting.
Customers, but also solve deploying here, because now we have to solve all the problems ourselves and not kick it off to somebody else, which will just slow everything down. Which is why then we're investing in the fuel supply chain, the capability to produce fuel, to fabricate fuel, to then put it in our reactors, including the long-term exciting things that we're doing on recycling, which allows us to tap into waste reserves. And actually, one of the most exciting policy pieces that's happened is these nuclear lifecycle innovation campuses, which is actually bringing forward.
Okay, Matt has a pretty interesting. So Frog Eat Frog says, "What's up, Mr. Frog? We love you, bro." We love Frog Eat Frog. He's the man. Matt P is asking, do you own CBT or ABDL? I don't actually know if I do. If I did, I maybe bought a share or two. We'll see. So let's see. It's so actually, I don't know. Hold on. Cabot. I don't own Cabot, and I don't own ABDL. Let's see. I do not own ABDL. No. I actually couldn't find their ticker on here. ABDL. No. I don't own that one at all, no. Wait, what? Give me 1 second, you guys. I gotta check something. Okay. Let's see.
Or the view that waste is really just like 95% unused fuel. What that translates to is in the United States alone, the waste inventories that we think of negatively with advanced recycling like what we're doing, there's actually enough energy content in that waste to power the entire country for over 150 years.
Wow.
It's several Saudi Arabia's worth of oil energy content sitting above ground ready to be harvested. And we've developed in this country the technology, so we get to bring that forward. So I think that's one of the key things we're doing is that whole overarching piece that then allows us to bolt on some cool things like this whole isotope business.
Yeah.
So it just gives us this diversified angle that's
Let's talk about that because there's no debt. You've got a good capital position. You're expanding the partnership with the Idaho National Laboratory to use AI for advanced reactor and fuel system designs. I want to hear more about the isotope business. That's really where analysts believe the growth is going to come from.
Yeah, I think there's a huge amount of opportunity here that a lot of people kind of underappreciate, partly because, you know, look, at the end of the day, isotopes play a really important role for healthcare, for medical treatments, for diagnostic imaging, for some unbelievably promising therapeutics. But we don't make these things in this country at anywhere near the sufficient quantities. It's a true story of scarcity. In fact, we've ceded the ability to make this completely to Russia and to China. We have to bring this back. We used to lead the world in this, and we can. And so one of the great things about what we've been able to do is have a very strong balance sheet to lean into these opportunities and start building. In fact, we're turning on our first reactor, hopefully very soon, in a matter of weeks, as part of this DOE reactor pilot program down in Texas, which is a pilot isotope production plant. And what we've shown is you can build it faster than people thought possible, as well as a cost that's totally different, and then open the door to start producing these things in quantities that change the game. And it also extends beyond just the medical side. It's also industrial and even space applications. Every like really cool thing we've done in space has been powered by these isotopes.
Wow.
We don't make them anymore. So if we're serious about space exploration, which we are as a country and a society and a civilization, we need these, and we're going to be in a great position to make it.
You're right. Space is so important. And we talk about that all the time because it's a national security issue.
I love it. This was a great interview that I've seen. This is a good interview.
But let's go back to the medical part of this, because I think our viewers really are interested in this. And this Texas facility for isotope production is aiding medical innovation like cancer treatments. Tell us more about that.
It's honestly incredible stuff. I mean, to put it kind of simplistically, one of the amazing things about these isotopes and these capabilities for therapeutics is you can bind them to these specific molecules, proteins, enzymes, peptides, that can target specifically and uniquely cancer cells. Go there and then deposit the radionuclide there that then basically the radiation kills those cells and not the healthy tissue around it.
Wow.
So unlike chemotherapy, which, you know, again, simplistically, is kind of killing the cancer cells faster than it's killing the rest of you, this is specifically only targeting the cancer cells. And we have not been able to research some of the most phenomenally promising capabilities here because we don't have enough isotopes to research with, just to research with, much less treat people with. So we have some that are phenomenally effective in treatments, but we've got to open the door, not just to supply those, but to open new medical capabilities and treatments that, like, drug discovery just doesn't even exist because they don't even have enough to research with, and we're aiming to help solve that.
I love that. Well,
hell yeah, dude. Oklo, dude. I love it. I've never invested in their company before, but honestly, no, their CEO's seems like a champ, dude. I love it. That was a pretty good interview. Let's see. I'll tell you guys what. I will end the stream for the day, and I will probably see you guys at some point tomorrow. Let's see. Just checking out a couple things here real quick, and bada bing, bada boom. There we go. Let's see. All right, well, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you guys for the
Laugh out loud.
Supers and the gifts. I really appreciate it. Oh, Foodie Loop, thank you for the gift before we go. I appreciate you big time. So Foodie Loop just sent a flow state. Thank you for that last minute gift. If anybody wants to send any last second gifts, feel free. We always greatly appreciate all sorts of gifts on the channel. It does help supports the channel in a lot of ways. So feel free to send whatever you want. Oh, thank you, Annie. I appreciate it. But thank you again, Foodie Loop. I appreciate all you guys. Jason Beatrice, what a stud. Let's see. Frog Eat Frog, I love you, bro. You're the man. We got my boy E.T. Tiny Lion Gaming, dude. Hell yeah, my boy. I'm giving shout outs all over the place, but we got E.T., Annie, we got Tiny Lion Gaming, got the works. But no, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys.
I'll probably see you guys at some point Saturday. Probably in the evening time or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But